my name is Manoj Parekh. I work in Shimla city of Himachal Pradesh. My family lives in Delhi. I have two children whose age is 2 years and 4 years. The younger one is a son, while the older one is a daughter. My family lives with my father in Delhi, but my wife comes to Shimla many times with the family to stay with me for a few days. I have only one room in Shimla, which is less for the whole family, so we have to stay in a hotel. Last year, when my wife came with the family, I took my boss also to meet the family. My boss is not much older than me. There will hardly be a difference of just 5 to 6 years. When the boss came to me to meet the family, his eyes were on my wife again and again. I knew that my boss was quite the curmudgeon, as his stories with girls often go on the air in the office, so it was no surprise to me that he was staring at my wife. I thought, what is going to happen if he is just staring? That's why, even after seeing everything, I ignored his action. Anyway, it is a private job. Even if I didn't feel like it, I couldn't do anything. Because in private, yes sir has a job and no sir has no house. That's why the matter was not in my control at all. But the point to be noted here was that even my wife was not finding any objection in this. She was also looking at my boss with a slight smile. I forgot to mention the name of the wife. My wife's name is Komal. Like the name, her body is also very soft. Even after being the mother of 2 children, she has maintained her figure in such a way that she has just got married. Her age is around 29. Komal's boobs are in great shape and her waist is slim. She looks no less than Deepika Padukone when she wears sari. That's why the boss's eye was repeatedly going on my heroine. Here, Komal was also constantly looking at the boss. My boss from Highland. He is very handsome and has a curvy body. He also does daily gym. Height is normal, but very fair and full body. This is the reason that girls get easily attracted towards him. Perhaps my wife was also one of them, who was responding to the sharp and mischievous glances of the boss by repeatedly pulling down the palu of her sari. After meeting the family, the boss said, "Ok Manoj, I am going." Here my wife Komal said, "Hey sir, you can have dinner at our place only. I am going to make a special dish for you, both sweet and spicy." A mysterious smile floated on the red lips of the boss after listening to Komal. Boss said, "Yes, definitely. My best employee's wife calls me for dinner and I don't come. How can this happen?" The boss shook hands with me and left after saying goodbye to everyone. I too went to my work. When I returned home at 6 in the evening, Komal had made all the preparations for the meal. As soon as I came home, she asked me, "Hasn't your boss come?" I said, "I am roaming around with the boss in my pocket." Actually, I was feeling a little annoyed because my wife was more worried about my boss than me. That's why I was a little angry too. I said, "Komal, make a cup of tea." She said, "Okay, but once call the boss and find out till what time he is coming." I said teasingly, "If I don't find out, will you not give me tea?" She also probably understood that I am getting irritated because of talking about the boss. So she quietly went to the kitchen and started making tea. I had just taken out my mobile from my pocket to call my boss when the doorbell rang. Komal was making tea in the kitchen. When I went and opened the door, the boss was standing there. I also wished good evening to the boss with a false smile and abused in my mind. The bastard has arrived. The devil appeared as soon as I took his name. Firstly, he gets me to do so much work, and on top of that, he also needs my wife as a bonus. Even before I asked the boss to come in, he came in, pushing me aside. He is the boss, can come anywhere, even if it is the house of the employee. Well, I closed the door and the boss sat down on the sofa in front. After making tea in such a long time, Komal came out of the kitchen with a tray in her hand. Only one cup was kept in the tray. She greeted the boss and presented the cup of tea to him. The boss also lifted the cup of tea from the tray while looking at Komal's nipples. I was watching their antics like a puzzled monkey. Boss said, "Hey Manoj, you will not take tea?" Here Komal said, "Hey sir, you take it, I will bring it in another cup for him." The boss looked at Komal and said, "Yes, I have come to take it." Komal smiled lightly and hurriedly went back to the kitchen. I also sat on the sofa with the boss and we both started talking. Meanwhile, Komal again came to the drawing room carrying a cup of tea in a tray and placed the tray on the table in front of me. She also sat in front of both of us. The palu of her sari was slightly slid down from her chest, showing a glimpse of the upper cleavage of her white breasts. When I looked at the boss, he was staring at Komal's chest like a vulture. Komal was becoming ignorant even after seeing everything. We three started talking among us. Meanwhile, my daughter Navya came to Komal while playing. Seeing the daughter, the boss said, "Mrs. Parekh, looking at you, it does not seem at all that you are the mother of 2 children. You have maintained yourself a lot." Komal also smiled with mischievous eyes. He said to Navya, "Go daughter, you go to the bedroom and watch TV, I serve food for uncle." saying that she got up and went to the kitchen again, and Navya went to the bedroom. In 10 minutes, my wife arranges plates of soft food on the table. We start eating. It was getting night and it was getting colder. After eating, the boss said, "Mrs. Parekh's food was cooked very well. I have eaten such delicious food after a long time." Komal said, "Thank you, do keep coming, we will get a chance to serve again." After saying this, even the boss smiled. The boss said, "Definitely, Mrs. Parekh. I really liked your hospitality. Your husband's promotion is going to happen soon." Komal said, "Sir, if you don't mind, then you should stay here tonight. It is too late now and it is very cold outside. We'll leave after breakfast in the morning." The boss smiled, hearing this as if Komal had snatched away his words. The boss said, "Yes, why not? What work do I have at home? Anyway, my wife and children have gone to Jammu on vacation. I will be bored at home. Time will also pass with you people here." Hearing this, even Komal smiled as if she had achieved success in some of her goals. Komal said, "Okay, I will make arrangements for both of you to sleep." But the very next moment she started thinking something. I asked, "What are you thinking, Komal?" She said, "But we have only 2 rooms. Father will sleep in one and me and you in the other." I said, "No problem. We will sleep here in the drawing room. The boss will sleep in the inner room. It is only a matter of one night." Komal said, "Yes, this is the right idea." Having said this, Komal went inside to lay on the bed. After some time she came out and said, "Navya is sleeping with her grandfather. I have made a bed for the boss. If both of you want to talk more, then do so. I prepare to sleep here." I said, "Come on, boss, we sit inside." We both went inside. After talking for some time, the boss said, "Friend, your wife had cooked very good food. I ate too much in taste. Now I am feeling sleepy. You also go to sleep. She will be waiting for you outside."
I said, "Okay, boss, you take rest. We'll leave for the office together in the morning." Saying this, I got up from there and saw that Komal was preparing to sleep in the drawing room. She was wearing a light pink nightie and had put a cardigan over it to protect her from the cold. I closed the door of the boss's room while coming out and lay down in the drawing room. Here, Komal was cleaning the utensils in the kitchen. I came and lay down in the blanket, and soon I felt lazy, but Komal had not come yet. When I called Komal, a voice came from the kitchen. "Yes, I will come in 10 minutes." Meanwhile, I fell asleep. In my sleep, I heard the sound of the door opening. When I hit the blanket next to me, Komal was not there. I looked here and there. She was nowhere to be seen. Then, when I listened carefully, there were voices of some conversation coming from the inner room. I quietly got up and moved towards the inner room. When I peeped inside with one eye, sitting near the door with the key crack, the light of the room was on, and Komal and the boss were lying on the bed in front of me. She was rubbing her hand on the boss's chest, and the boss was caressing Komal's waist. What those people were talking about could not be heard properly. When I opened my eyes in the morning, the boss had gone. On asking, Komal told that he left early. "We'll come back for breakfast some other time."